One love, family, wholeness, and balance. What's up? Jesse Tree here. About to break my 23-hour dry fast and with my fresh pressed juices and superfoods and tonic herbs and what have you. And I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about the body's vital adjustment. And this is something Hilton Hotima talked about many, many years ago. It's part of the path of Breatharianism. And, on the one hand, realizing that at one time we were perfect and complete. We still are, as we are, and that the body adjusts to the greatest potential of longevity, given what you offer it. So a lot of us are, addicted to alcohol, or there's pharmaceutical meds. Some people, dealing with addiction to opiates from the pharmaceutical industry. That there's all kinds of things that are toxic, straight up toxic. Not only that, but all of our food is toxic. Even the plants themselves, they're wonderful, but they have a small measure of toxins. Everything does, mustards and all the brassicas have, goitrogens that inhibit your thyroid functioning. There's things like comfrey that are a wonderful herb, but if you take too much of it, it'll over mineralize you and give you kidney stones. And your body breaks everything down, whether it's carbs or fats, into carbon to bust apart for ATP. But this is all just part of an adjustment. Someone who's been abusing opiates, using pharmaceuticals even, if you take them away abruptly, that person can die. And that's why if you just stop eating food, you're likely to die, because you can't just fast your way. It took, millennia and eons of time for our bodies to adjust to this, but we're so adaptive that, like, say even someone who comes from low altitude to high altitude, they can get very sick. But if you take time to adjust them to that altitude, they'll be fine. And there's actually better, more rarefied oxygen up at the higher altitudes with more negative ions and so forth. So the same is true with breatharianism. As you're trying to move away from food, you have to give yourself time and be gentle for your organs to be able to make this adjustment, and your psychology and your whole body, mind, spirit complex to adjust to the changes. So that's where energy cultivation comes in, meditation, qigong, positive psychology, grounding, where you're gathering up free electrons and antioxidants. Body's always trying to throw off everything it doesn't need. And if you think, this was one of the downloads that was shared during the Sedona retreat with Ellie Tom. Man, that was a great retreat. I just gotta say, one love to all my family who I met out there, and Ellie Tom and Shana Dean and Jerome and everyone out there, Kawi. There was a lot of good brothers and sisters. It was a high time. But something that Ellie Tom had dropped was, we're all energy beings. At the center of every atom is a nucleus, and that nucleus is emitting nuclear energy. So that's the same thing, that a star is doing. A star is doing fission, or a star is doing fusion. A-bombs are fission, so that's where there's such a high energy state that it fuses atoms and it creates more energy. The sun always is shining. The sun never stops shining, and it does it for eons. So the same is true with you. We all have a nucleus at the center of every atom, and we're all energy beings, and we all have this vital adjustment. And if you're interested in pursuing any path, that's the whole field of epigenetics, like people who are able to learn to hold their breath for longer periods, or the state of hormesis, where people are lifting weights and it's destroying their cells, but then they regrow stronger. You started as one cell that split and split and split into trillions, and your body's always doing that. So that's a download for today. Here's what I'm having for dinner. It's been a busy week. after being at retreat, so I have some leftover. This isn't a harmless harvest. This is actually, I don't know if you can see the pink in there. That's pinker than the, here's my harmless harvest. See how the difference in color? This is prickly pear juice that I juiced some time ago. Gonna have a harmless harvest. Gonna have a Purium power shake. Gonna have a good belly. No sugar added probiotic. Just berry juice. Got my spring dragon tea with goji berry and jujube. And I got my matcha vanilla GT Daves with medicinal mushrooms. And I'm gonna have a little red ginseng. So using these adaptogens and juices and stuff to slowly move my way there. It's taken me, 12 years, moving to raw foods, moving to fasting, doing more smoothies and juices, doing more dry fasting. Give yourself time and be gentle. Whatever the case, whatever you're eating, always try to get the highest. Take some time to fast and be gentle with yourself. Hope you got something from this family. Sending you one big love.